Hey, it's Lance Mazzarella here from Staten Island, New York.
And I'm Amanda Keating from Braintree, Massachusetts.
And we're getting married on October 3rd, 2009 at the Boston Marriott in Quincy, Massachusetts. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how me and Amanda met and came to be engaged. I met Amanda 8 years ago at Johnson Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island. We lived in the same dorm room, Xavier, the sketchy dorm, the one that nobody wanted to live in, with the public bathrooms and the spooky hallways and the funny noises in the basement. All that. We met one another our junior year of college when we were introduced by a mutual friend when we were all looking to get an apartment together. We rented a house with a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls that we had been going to class with for years. Around the time of graduation, me and Amanda actually became managers at a local hotel, as she was the day manager and I was pulling the night shifts, but in actuality, I was picking up most of Amanda's shifts and she was doing most of my homework.
Upon graduation, I was offered an executive management position with the same hotel company that we were working with. My only challenge with that was the location. They had offered to relocate me to Portland, Oregon, across the country, so I decided to take it.
With Amanda headed west, the allure of my friends and family in New York was just too much for me to resist. I was offered a position with a high-volume restaurant in Times Square in New York City. After about 3 years of working with them, 90 hours a week, no Saturdays off, no vacations, I decided that I had enough. I was going to take a break and go see Amanda in Oregon and steal her away. I'd venture to guess that Amanda at this point knew what I was planning, but I just don't think that she knew how soon I was planning it. I called her father and gained his permission, of course, and her mother and father asked me if I knew what I was getting myself into with her. And I did, so they gave me their blessing and wished me the best of luck. I packed, flew to Oregon, surprised Amanda, and the morning after I arrived, I knelt down on the side of the bed and I said, "Amanda, do you really love me?"
Yes, I do.
And when she said yes, she did, I popped out this giant rock and bam! We kicked it up a notch and now we're married. We're getting married. And I asked her to come to New York City with me. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
The next morning I spoke to my GM, and he was definitely sad to see me leave, but was happy for the two of us. So while I worked out my 2 weeks in Portland, Lance packed up my entire apartment and my car, and we decided to drive across the country. The drive back was amazing. We created the first of many memories, and we hope to have many more.
Essentially, I like to think we gave it all up for love. Amanda left her executive leadership position where she really had limitless potential to grow with the company. And I walked away from a job in Manhattan that, while was a fantastic career for me, it would have never allowed me to develop a family and build a relationship and the personal goals that I had set for myself long before I went to college. And this really gave us the time to develop our relationship further and have a chance to have a beautiful wedding at the Boston Marriott in Quincy. Winning this contest would give us the jump start into life that we need to really, really start out a great life together and really start to build a strong, solid family. Planning the wedding is a stressful thing, and the financial part of it is definitely the most immensely stressful thing that we've come across in our lives to date. I want to thank Courtney, Amanda, and Colleen of the Quincy Marriott for helping us plan our special day. They've been fantastic so far. And together, we'd also like to thank God, our parents, beer, and wine for all that they've done for us during this most stressful time. Thank you so much for listening to our story, and we hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye!
How many times have we rowed and thrown tantrums? How many times have we loaded and cocked the hammers on our verbal guns? And how many times has crockery and cutlery and cups have even thrown at me? How many times have I thrown words back at you I knew could cut you to the bone? How many times have we slept side by side 1,000 miles apart? How many times have we thought we could finish something we could never even start? How many times have I said I love you and I hate you in the